This is not a joke. I was late this stream because I was trying to find Indian music that didn't suck. It's so bad. Indian music is so fucking bad. There's like a couple okay songs that are all like T-Series copyright that I can't play. It was it took me like 20 minutes to find an intro and outro song for this so I can make the joke, the really shitty joke that I'm supporting Indians because it's Thanksgiving, and then the day after Thanksgiving is like Native American Heritage Day. So it's like I'm supporting all my Indian bros everywhere, no matter where they may be, either in the indigenous Indians or the ones still back in India. We love you. Fun fact, Native American Heritage Day is a real holiday thing. It's observed the day after Thanksgiving. Let me pull this up if I can. Show you guys what I'm actually looking at here. Assuming, aha. Okay, perfect. Okay, perfect. Everything's going great. So if we look here closely, the history of Native American Heritage Day, it was signed by George W. Bush, and it was lobbied for by the Native American supported by the National Indian Gaming Association, which can be abbreviated as NIGA. So the NIGAs got together, and all 184 NIGAs got together, and they said we should have a day after Thanksgiving recognizing our heritage, the heritage of our lands. And George W. Bush says, my NIGA, I agree completely. I will actually sign this into law, and we will have that after Thanksgiving. And everyone's happy about it, and that solved the issue, and nobody complains about Native American shit anymore. It was all solved by this bill and the legal footwork laid down by the NIGAs. So, I hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I was debating what to do for this week. I was thinking of either putting out like a joke video where I try to give help, like do it like with like a radio voice overtone, like with the frequencies all fucked up, like old-timey radio, and being like trying to relay helpful information about how to not out yourself as a right-wing extremist at the Thanksgiving Day table. I was thinking about not doing anything this week, which was my plan until like a couple hours ago. I was also thinking of streaming myself playing Europa Universalis, which I did not do, but I almost did it. I almost just played U4 this week. You see, I'm engrossed in a campaign. I started as a Berber tribe, and I have formed Andalusia, and now I'm trying to eliminate Sunni and Shiite Islam. It's a lot of work, chat, but I'm gonna get it done. Don't you worry. I have my priorities set straight. EU is boring to watch. It's true. It's very true unless you're watching Floriworry, who's like an insane person. I've already showed you guys the clip where he converted the entire world to Judaism as Ethiopia turned into Spain, and then he's like, "Oy vey, motherfuckers," and he starts giving himself loans. And he's not like a political person at all. He just thought that was funny to do. He's a decent person. He's a bit of a spurg though. But anyone who plays Europa Universalis is a spurg. Anyway, that's enough of that. I said not all families had a good time. Of course, I hope that you did. But Adam Weinstein was, unlike me, who did not relay any instructions on how to keep your head low during Thanksgiving. Adam Weinstein, I'm assuming he's related to Harvey Weinstein. Who knows? I'm assuming everyone's related to each other. He says, somewhere this Thursday, a guy is going to brag over a dinner table about how he got into the Capitol and never got caught, and his nieces and nephews are going to turn him into the FBI, and the desserts are going to be delicious. I really can't express, I legally cannot express my opinions about someone who would encourage family members to turn each other in to the FBI. That is like some classical, good old-fashioned subversion. That's like skin-crawling, anger-inducing. Like, there's a book. There's actually a series of books called The correct me if I'm wrong. It's called like the Gulag Arpeggio or something. Yeah, the Gulag not Arpeggio, Archipelago. I don't know how to pronounce that word. That's an English word that I cannot pronounce. It's by Alexander Solzhenitsyn. But you can look that up, and he explains how the gulags worked and how people just like didn't cooperate with the gulag system. It wouldn't work. But Adam Weinstein wants to go the opposite direction. He wants more people narking on each other and shit. Look at you guys making fun of me not being able to pronounce words. You think you would have learned by now that I have seen a really good I've seen a lot of words written in forum posts, but my actual heard and like, okay, and for the last, I've not even thought about this, but for like the last 5 years of my life, I haven't heard any English at all. I've been isolated from the English-speaking world. When I go outside, I hear weird gobbledygook. I don't fucking hear words. And I'm sure this has not had a positive impact on my brain's development. And I'm losing my English. Whatever English I actually had at any point in my life is seeping out of my ears and being replaced with fucking nonsense. So, talk with us. See, you're just text. You could say arpeggio, and I wouldn't know how to pronounce it. So, I'm all fucked. Your needs, but you haven't heard English spoken in years. That's not true. You're on those femboy servers, and you're talking to femboys, and you're hearing English from the mouths of very educated college graduates who have 4-year degrees in basket weaving and shit. Archipelago. That's a stupid fucking word. Arpeggio is a better word. It sounds French or Italian. So, there's also this post. I don't know who the fuck Casey Neistat is, but over Thanksgiving week, he says, so our cars got robbed this morning because Los Angeles is a crime-ridden third-world shithole of a city, but tremendous appreciation and gratitude and appreciation to the hardworking officers at LAPD who not only arrested the motherfucker, but they got all of our stolen goods back. To which Seth Rogen replies, indignant, dude, I've lived here for 20 years. You're nuts. It's lovely here. Don't leave anything valuable in it. It's called living in a big city. Now, Casey actually knows this because I checked out his profile and it says that he's Jewish and he's from New York City. So he knows what the fuck a big city is. He's not like completely shot like a rural farmer who's never been in the big city before, and so this was his first experience. But he shoots back, I can be mad though, right? Feel so violated. And Seth Rogen doubles down, continues to defend the blight of land and steel and people known as Los Angeles by saying, you can be mad, I guess. I don't personally view my car as an extension of myself because Seth Rogen can afford to replace whatever the fuck gets taken from him 6 times over. And I've never really felt violated any of the 15 or so times my car was broken into. Once a guy accidentally left a cool knife in my car, so if it keeps happening, you might get a little treat. Absolute fucking madness. He says down here, he lived in West Hollywood for 20 years and parked on the street. So about once a year, every year, his car was broken into. Once a year and every 4 months. His car was broken into, and it's just like, oh, whatever, bro. It's just a car, man. It doesn't matter to me. Why do I care? I'm Seth Rogen. I get paid millions of dollars. I made Family Guy. I don't have to give a fuck about shit being stolen. Fuck LA. Guess who also didn't have a good Thanksgiving, chat? Ralph didn't, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that later. J.K. Rowling didn't. J.K. Rowling, now, of course, J.K. Rowling is British. And wrong Seth? No, you've got to be fucking kidding me. Who made Family Guy? Seth MacFarlane. Who is Seth Rogen? He's the guy from the Virgin movie, right? Oh, he's Canadian. Okay, MacFarlane made Family Guy. Seth Rogen. Look, all these Jews, I just mix them up in my head. I guess MacFarlane's Irish name, but he's Jewish in spirit, right? Anyways, look. What's her face? J.K. Rowling. She is British, and she doesn't get to celebrate Thanksgiving. But her Thanksgiving has been ruined nonetheless by the valiant efforts of trans activists all over the world. Richard Energy posted this on Twitter. Popped over to J.K. Rowling's house in Edinburgh, which is the capital of Scotland, if you don't know. I do know that, chat. I actually know something. Can you believe that? I popped over to J.K. Rowling's house in Edinburgh with I am Georgia Frost and Holly W. Stars, hashtag trans rights are human rights, don't be a sissy, and hashtag trans liberation now. And that's what they're holding up. So these fine, lovely gentlemen show up at J.K. Rowling's house. And surely, I mean, it's just like a little bit of a thing, right? They're just there with signs like sure. Why would J.K. Rowling be upset about this at all? Like she's behind that nice secure gate. What is there to be afraid of? How about J.K. Rowling when you open her rib cage and slowly start pulling out all of her organs? Liked 161 times, retweeted 30 times. So for whatever reason, and I have my theories, which I will say before the end of the stream, I promise. And this is a picture of Boss Baby screaming. If you're only listening, I have my theories why trannies hate J.K. Rowling so much. And come up with a guess why, but keep it to yourself, and I'll ask you in a second. Now you might it might not be fair to say that men are dangerous because female sex crimes have also been up. This is in Middlesbrough, which I believe is also in the UK. There could be a Middlesbrough in the US. But Teesside woman accused of exposing penis, using sex toy, and masturbating in public. Funny enough, and I think I have mentioned this before, but the number, like, I think men historically do like 95% of all sex crimes. Like men rape. Women don't really rape. I'm sure like some men have been raped by women. There was that rape scene in that one movie, like called like it was named after like a detective or something. Like an old guy gets raped by a woman, but that's like a male. Number one, that didn't happen in real life. That's like a male fantasy. Number two, women don't really have the equipment to rape. Number three, the number of the ratio has been going towards women's favor for the last couple of years for reasons unknown, and journalists have been looking into this very seriously, trying to figure out why the number of female rapes has been like doubling every year for the last couple of years, and it's a real fucking mystery as to why that might be happening. But I will continue. She has her own side of the story here. Last Friday, my family's address was posted on Twitter by 3 activist actors who took pictures of themselves in front of our house, carefully positioning themselves to ensure that our address was visible. I want to say a massive thank you to everyone who reported the image. Your kindness and decency made all the difference to me and my family. I'd like to thank the police too. Look, we got to cut this shit out. We need these people like Nystrom and Rowling to stop saying thank you, please, because we have to abolish the police and replace them with a highly supervised security team. She continues, I implore those people who retweeted the image with the address still visible, even if they did so in condemnation of these people's actions, to delete it. Over the last few years, I've watched appalled as women like Allison Bailey, Raquel Sanchez, Marion Miller, blah, blah, blah. Including women who have no public profile, but who have contacted me to relate their experiences, have been subject to campaigns of intimidation, which range from being hounded on social media, the targeting of their employees or employers, all the way up to doxing and direct threats of violence, including rape. None of these women are protected in the same way that I am. They and their families have been put into the state of fear and distress for no other reason than the fact that they refuse to uncritically accept all the socio-political concept of gender identity that should replace sex. And so on. I've now received so many death threats that I could paper the house with them, and I haven't stopped speaking out. Perhaps, and I'm not just throwing this out there, the best way to prove your movement isn't a threat to women is to stop stalking, harassing, and threatening us. So that's her little spiel about being threatened constantly by these Tims. And now, of course, Harry Potter is sacrilege. It used to be the only thing that these people could ever fucking reference. I feel like I should say that if you like Harry Potter, grow the fuck up and learn to discard shit made by horrific bigots who are presently, at this moment, profiting from its popularity. And if you insist on making likes Harry Potter a part of your personality, you are at best a total fucking loser. It's a baby's story. It was never very good, and you only feel an attachment to it because you liked it as a kid. Your enjoyment of a mediocre book series is not more important than full throatedly supporting trans people. I don't know who the fuck came up with the term full-throated defense or full-throated support, but there's only one thing that comes to mind when that term gets thrown around, and it ain't fucking nice. And I would rather be shot in the head twice than full-throatedly support any trans person on this fucking planet. And by the way, I had a sneaking suspicion. I had a something was nagging me about this display picture up here because cartoons are for children, especially anime. So I asked Post, which is a Fediverse node that likes that's on is the closest thing we have to a friend on the Fediverse, but they have a lot of anime avatars, and I even here in my profile. I have cleverly disguised myself as an anime avatar so that nobody knows it's me. Nobody sees anything out of the ordinary when I'm there. But I say, can anyone recognize what anime this avatar is from, by the way? And they say, Robin from One Piece, which is an anime made for 10-year-olds, by the way. One Piece is definitely for children, but it hates trannies and cross-dressers. So this person, while complaining that Harry Potter is for kids, which, to be fair, it is for children. It is a children's story about witches and wizards and growing up and not much else, and that's it. Has this child's cartoon as their display picture. They are this Robin from One Piece. They wish, because Robin sounds like a woman's name, but. One Piece shitters felt it. Like I don't know anything about One Piece. I know that whenever you bring up like Naruto, One Piece is mentioned usually. It's like the same category, but like I watch Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh and I didn't have any interest in Naruto, but I saw like 8 episodes of it. I remember like Inuyasha and shit because that played on Cartoon Network, which is where it fucking belongs because it's a cartoon for like teenagers with like a sappy love story and demon dogs and the obvious jokes that are coming from white women and demon dogs fighting for her. But it is a kid's thing. So this fucking weirdo being upset about one kid's media being better than the other is just stupid. But this is the hot take that J.K. Rowling has that pisses people off. She says, dress however you please, call yourself whatever you'd like, sleep with consenting adults who'll have you, live your best life in peace and security, but force women out of their jobs for stating that sex is real. And then she says, I stand by Maya, this is not real. So this is like her whole fucking... This is it. This is all she says, is that sex is sex, and whatever you want to identify as, go for it. Very, very moderate. This is what's considered right-wing extremism in the United Kingdom. This post right here is enough to get someone put on a fucking watch list, to get a Bobby to show up at your house and be like, you have an illegal opinion. And someone's at my door, because I'm probably yelling about trannies. Be right back. So, anyways, trans women are women, and if you disagree, you should go to jail. Okay, and this is a counter example. Aaron Trail Mom says, when people ask what transphobic thing did J.K. Rowling say in the future, you can point to this: women's sex-based rights exclude trans people. Those rights, including to TERFs, are bathroom rights, sports, changing rooms, homeless shelter, and legal recognition of gender. Which reminds me, I didn't think of this until now, but I have a picture. And all it is a tranny saying, like, I'm at a women's shelter and I'm walking around with my dick out and my tits, quote unquote, they're completely flat chested. And they're just like, yeah, you can't do anything about this because I'm in Canada. You can't evict me because if you run a women's shelter that doesn't allow trans women into your women's shelter, you don't get any government funding. So it's like they have to tolerate this person, no matter how grotesque they may be, because like whatever, we get defunded if we don't do that. Oh, here, I actually found it. My lucky day. My lucky day, chat. I was not lying. Tyler Porter says, bitch, please, I'm gonna walk around first thing in the morning topless, titties out and a bulge in my pants in the women's shelter with a piece of toast in my hand and my hair tied up. The morning wood came back with progesterone. I live in a women's shelter at the moment, so it's rather amusing when I wake up and get out of bed and use the bathroom. Pitching a tent with my titties out, laughing, crying emoji. So they literally just strut around like this in a women's shelter where like rape victims go after they've been sexually assaulted. And there's literally not a fucking thing anyone can do about it. It's just great, isn't it? That we live in a society. Okay, now, I asked you guys to hold a thought in your head about what could be the cause of animosity here, and I will tell you my opinion, and this is not a joke. Let me get a. Sorry, my voice is completely fucked today. I don't know why. I'm trying to drink nice warm tea with honey to soothe myself, and it's I'm falling apart at the seams. See, I had a wonderful Thanksgiving dinner. Turkey is not a thing in Europe, so I just bought a bunch of chicken. And then I hired a bunch of gypsies to wear feathered hats and sit around and eat Kentucky Fried Chicken with me, and, and mashed potatoes I bought at a store, and we just, yeah, V was there. It was V and his family. I bought them all KFC. They just had to wear feathered hats for me, and that was my Thanksgiving. It was actually quite lovely. Don't knock it till you try it, chat. Oh, jeez. Okay, my opinion is this. I've come this way. I think that there's three kinds of trannies. I think there's, first of all, the gay male. The gay male who wants to have sex with straight men. If, in case you don't know this, having sex with straight men, like tricking or coercing or getting a straight guy fucked up on drugs or alcohol and then having sex with him, is like a top, like an S tier gay fetish. It's something that they're all into, and like gay for pay shit is like the number one gay porno category. Like they'll pay straight guys a lot of money to have sex. That's like their thing. They want to have sex with straight guys. Number two category of tranny is incel. Literally become the girlfriend. This is a guy who hates women, who always wanted to be GF, and then has become a transbian because they think that once they're a transbian, they can have their anime Yuri fetish fantasies acted out in real life. The third category is legitimately mentally ill or chromosomally afflicted. People who have Klinefelter syndrome or non-Klinefelter's XXY. People who have dysphoria, and I think that most people who fall into like non-chromosomal dysphoria have PTSD, which is why if you ever talk about if you ever like tranny bash and you're in like an actual community for people who are trans, you will almost always get asked this question: why don't you ever say anything about female to males? And it's like, because number one, a female to male is not a threat to anyone because it's a woman. Number two, they're just like molestation victims. Like they're just molestation. They just got diddled and they don't want to be a woman anymore, so they become female to male or something along those lines. That's why. So those are the three categories. Now, on the flip side of that is the regular incel who just hates women and is still a man. And that is my segue to Nick Fuentes at America First. Because if you don't know, after Rittenhouse was acquitted, Rittenhouse, there was very nearby the trial was a parade. It was a Thanksgiving parade, and a van of peace of unknown motivations. The whole story is super weird, and people are really like going schizo over it. Because what happened in short is that a black guy drove his SUV into a parade and killed like 4 grandmothers and a dancing grannies group. Literally like the most innocuous white thing that could ever exist. And then like a little girl, like a 4-year-old on the side watching the dancing grannies, was also murdered by this vehicle driven by this black guy. It was completely written off as not terrorism. The police is refusing to talk about it further. They say that it was a domestic violence situation. He was running from the police. Anyways, point is, the little girl dies, and America First responds on Twitter by saying, in response to someone saying, if you aren't racist after this, wake up, Broseph USA says, which is apparently like a real guy and not like a fake one, intentionally trying to make America First look bad. This is apparently someone that people actually fucking know within America First. He says, they're all going to be hanging with Dewan in a few years and be ashamed of their own skin. Even almost getting killed won't wake these people up. I don't regret the post at all. In fact, I didn't go far enough. Those were all future Stacys, and as such, they deserved what they had coming. Devil emoji. Suleiman Kaiser says, and nothing of value was lost. They'd grow up to be harlots anyways. This is referring to like little white girls that were murdered by an SUV by a black guy. Broseph continues, today's controversy reminds me of the core issue, even more important than the racial stuff, being attitude towards women. I have been attacked for so long by pointing out Wignats being simps. Don't you dare criticize white children once, and all of Wignat Twitter will be out for blood. Tuxedo Groiper says, Wignats are really going to suspend reality because something horrible happened and act like 95% of white girls don't grow up to become race traitors. No, not my white queens, not my princes in a sundress. And then over here, 2017 flashbacks. Chad Groiper says Nick Fuentes is a homosexual pedophile, and Broseph replies, Lamau, imagine using pedophile like a pejorative. Have fun with your 40-year-old used up ugly bitches, I guess. Shrugging emoji. I have a clip of Nick Fuentes' response to this, and it just writes it off as a joke. And my thought is, that nobody calls themselves a pedophile as a joke. Like, never. The people on 4chan and stuff who openly call themselves pedophile, they love to say like that they are a pedophile and that there's nothing you can do about it. And if you get angry when they talk about how they openly want to have sex with children, and if you get angry, then they are immensely gratified for it. There's a thread that I participate on 4chan that has someone who constantly posts lolicon. And if anyone says that they're a pedophile, they will start posting pictures of kids and more lolicon, and they'll just be like, stay mad, boomer. Stay mad, boomer. I love women when they're the most precious. And I noticed it on 8chan, I noticed it on 9chan, I noticed it on 4chan, I noticed it on Twitter. The people out there who are in your face about it are not fucking lying. They just love to make you angry, which is why I don't even feel bad for them. Like that whole No, I'm a virtuous pedophile. Uh-uh. No, they get off not only on like the actual like sex appeal that they see, but they also get off on knowing that it makes people really fucking angry. So I don't buy it for a second that this guy is just like, oh, I'm a joker. I'm a joker boy. And if it wasn't like people who apparently are real like Nick Fuentes fans, then I would just say maybe it's a gay op. Maybe these are literally federal informants trying to make Nick Fuentes' audience look like a bunch of fucking psychos. But then this is Nick Fuentes' response to people asking. This is like a huge stream, and I'll go over the finer points, but this is like an actual clip of him replying to people asking about it.
They were 20. Okay, maybe.
Did
but
the tweet make you
fucking
cry?
kids, dude. No, it didn't make you cry,
Are you
but
sure?
they're kids.
Why didn't you
dude.
cry? They're kids, bro. You didn't cry? Dude.
Over what, the tweet?
They're kids, man. They're kids in the tweet. You didn't cry over that, man?
No, I didn't cry over kids.
What are you, sick? Dude, they were 10. Dude, they were 3 years old.
It has nothing to do with
with
them.
What?
I'm going to tell you right now.
I can't
the only
believe
thing is,
this.
you're I can't believe this.
They're
kids, and you're equating them to sex, dude. The whole thing is you're equating kids with sex. That's the only problem.
And you didn't cry.
No, I didn't cry. I don't know
what are you, a porn addict? Because you didn't cry over that tweet online?
Dude, you're literally making shit up right now. That's all that's happening.
Well,
they're kids.
Thou dost protest too much.
They're kids, and he's talking about them
and
having
you
sex.
Didn't even cry.
That's the only problem.
And you didn't
they're
even
kids,
cry because
you're having sex.
You're
That's
so
the only
irony
problem.
poisoned, and you've been online too much. You're not even gonna cry over the tweet that's.
I cry over a tweet.
Wow. Why would you cry?
All I'm saying is,
what a sicko.
All I'm saying is he's equating 9-year-olds with sex, bro. That's it.
I know.
He's equating 9-year-olds with sex.
I'm in a
you
puddle
compare
right now, tears and
pissed. My drag queen book stories.
You go to drag
queen
book stories?
He's equating 9-year-olds with sex. That's literally
You're the one that brought drag queens.
Hopefully you guys recognize Nick Fuentes' voice. The guy, I don't know who's talking to him. He sounds kind of like a Spurg, and I think if he was more well-equipped, he could have done better in getting Nick to say stupid shit. But I think what's happening here is that guy is probably like a real fan of Nick, who's like, why are you not condemning this? And Nick Fuentes is just making fun of him. Like, why aren't you... with some weird false equivalence. I don't even want to try to represent his argument because I have no idea what he's going for. But in the entire thing, and this is the Cliff Notes, Nick Fuentes talks about being an unironic misogynist and how it's fun when women get hurt. He says Baldwin shooting that Ukrainian woman was the funniest thing. Nick defends the Borosiv tweet is a bad joke and tells the other guy to stop tone policing. He says there is no such thing as base women, that they are all dumb whores. Nick talks about his view on women and marriage and says he doesn't look forward to getting married, and then it's all just an ends to the... It's all just a means to an end. He says it's cringe when people love their spouse and that everyone should be like Trump. Nick compares himself to Thomas Aquinas, Aristotle, Jesus, and God by saying that they all think the same about women. Nick compares marriage to things he hates, like brushing his teeth and showering. Nick likes being a martyr and says he went to the Capitol to save the white race. And Beardson comes in and starts talking about a single mother on Twitter. It's a real mystery why Nick Fuentes is so repulsed by the female forum. One can only imagine what it is that puts him off on such things and what he would instead prefer. I don't want to imply things about Nick Fuentes, but I really can't even imagine what it is. So I really think at this point that Nick's fans are just incels. They just hate women because they have profound mother issues. And Nick himself is a gay. He's a gay, and that's why he hates women. In his mind, it doesn't matter, like, because he doesn't give a shit. He doesn't actually give a shit about white people because he's a Mexican. Number one. Here, wait. I actually have a better one. This is. I really don't know how any. I have never in my life looked at another man like this. This is an intimate look of fondness that two men do not share under typical circumstances, chat. It's this is the kind of love that some people can only pray for and dream about, chat. This is not normal. That's old news, I guess. At this point, everyone knows about this. His whole thing has kind of deflated since the Capitol, since Trump was out of office. It lost a lot of its momentum because it's like, what is the 22-year-old Fuhrer actually believe? You know, like, what's his plan to save the white race? Oh, treat women like disposable birthers, like some tranny, and run over white girls, and it doesn't even matter because they're all gonna love Dwan, anyways. By the way, one can only imagine why. Hey man, Jibber asks, hey man, how you doing? Pretty good. Thanks for asking, bro. Every fucking time. One day I'll remember to turn off the fucking Matrix. I don't even know. I closed out of Matrix. I don't know if it's closed, so I might get dinged again. But one can only imagine why Nick Fuentes, why little white girls may not want to be with a Chad Aryan Ubermensch such as Nick Fuentes. Why they would prefer to be with what is this? What's his name? His name is I don't even know. He's Russian. He's Russian, and his name is Berlin 1969. So I'm thinking that this guy is like a Russian born in the communist side of Germany. He's like 50 years old. But why? What is it about women that would not be appealed to the Groypers and Nick Fuentes? Why would they want to go with people like this in Russia? Hey, chat. This is the average American First leader and fanboy versus the least politically opinionated man to ever exist. Which one, chat? Which one? The new Fuhrer or the man who could not give less of a fuck and has no idea? This guy doesn't even know what country he's in. He thinks he's Russian. He thinks he's in Soviet Union still. He hasn't heard the news about the wall. He intentionally, whenever he sees a newspaper, he burns it. When he sees news on the television, he smashes it to the ground. When he hears news on his computer, he simply presses Control W and closes out of that tab. If someone starts talking to him about the news, he punches them in the fucking face, and there's nothing they can do about it. So that's my Nick Fuentes rant. If you're one of those people who, like, I've said this before, but really, the white race is about 51% women. If you are genuinely someone who's like, what? Okay, everyone likes to meme 1488, right? Let me pull this up real quick. What are the 14 words, ADL? Let's read them live on air. Oh, that's only the original one. There's two different variations of the 14 words. Here, Wikipedia's got it. The ADL is lacking. So if you're one of these people who spam 1488 and think it's a funny meme, the first one is, we must secure the existence of our people and a future for white children. I wonder how you get white children. And then the other, less commonly used one is, because the beauty of white Aryan women must not perish from the earth. And meanwhile, the 1488ers are these people who want to have gay anal sex, have sex with women only for the sole express purpose of reproduction. And then they're just like, you might as well kill white women because they're probably just going to shack up with Dewan anyways. So why even bother? I don't get it, chat. This is just become libertarian. If you really hate women that much, just become libertarian and buy a chinky wife. You don't need to LARP as some kind of fascist. It's okay. You can become a libertarian and make some Elliot Rodgers. Dark hair cuter anyways? Okay, Turkey Tom. You just like Turkish girls. Hence the name. People think it's about turkeys. It's not. It's about Turkish women. Your secret fetish. And now, as we segue once again, Nick isn't white anyways. It's true. We have to see his nipples. Has he ever posted his nipples? we should ask Catboy Cammy if his nipples are pink. I bet he would know. Okay, so as a reply to my last stream, this guy down here said, this is the positive feedback I really strive for as an entertainer. You're a special kind of fucking stupid, aren't you? You and your fucking hate mob troll entourage. You prefer not to be able to shoot the motherfucker that's trying to get a closer look at your brain matter by smashing your skull open. I guess when you're sitting on your fucking ivory tower, you don't have to bother with self-defense. And what this goddamn fucking obsession with that fat asshole Ethan? Who the fuck cares? So now we're going to be talking about Ethan Ralph, my favorite, my favorite part of the streams. So, Ralph is currently at Amanda's parents' house for Thanksgiving. I wish I could be a fly on the wall eating some of that turkey while this goes down. He says, fuckers really think I'm shook over possible... Well, we have to go back in time actually a little bit before the turkey thing. We'll get to that. Ralph says, fuckers really think I'm shook over possible county time, Lamau. I'm not like you, pussy. I'm like Tupac, bitch. Petty shit like that's just a blimp on the radar. Like going to weight loss camp and recharging. Ha ha ha. Nothing more. Oh, and I'm gonna win anyways. So, okay. That's fucking weird. Like, he really is thinking about leaving America because we all know Tupac is alive and well in Serbia. I saw him just the other day. He was at the KFC. He likes the spicy chicken tinty bucket, okay? So he's planning on being like Tupac and fleeing the fucking country soon. Now he after this wonderful pontification, he explains. Oh, sorry. Let me get a sip of water so I can read this in a sad voice. This has been without a doubt the hardest year of my life, and it's not even close. But when I think about how hard it could have been if my backup wasn't there, thank God they were. I don't think I would have made it. Happy Thanksgiving to all my friends and supporters. I don't know what he's referring to by backup. You would think like May, the mother of his child or something, but I guess he's like thanking his pay pigs. When I hear the word backup, I think of that picture of Alex Jones where he's like in a corridor and there's like 8,000 Alex Joneses behind him. like Ralph has actually died a bunch of times. That car accident, he died. The heart attack, he actually died. Every time he dies, they just roll out the new Ralph. That's like a clone. And every time they clone him, it's like a shittier version of the previous Ralph. So it's like fatter with grayer hair and it's less mentally stable. And they're just gonna keep doing this until it's like Jello and it can't hold together at all. I don't always make it easy on folks, but I'm blessed to have so many good friends and associates. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I hope you all enjoy your Thanksgiving as much as I plan to. In 2020, my mama and I spent our last Thanksgiving together. I didn't know at the time, of course, it was a good day, but I remember arguing over something stupid, something I wouldn't give even to have the argument again, much less the good stuff from that day. I think he gets beat up over his mom because it's like he was like a prick to her or something, so he regrets it because like the argument with the pill stream, she's like, Ralph, can you take me to my dialysis? And he's like, just call a cab. And then she's like, I don't want to call a cab, it's hot outside. And he's like, it's not even hot outside. And that's like his last memory of him, and his mother, so he feels really shitty about it. I love you and miss you so much, Mama. I think about you every day, every hour, almost every second. I'm very thankful we had our time together. Just wish it could have been longer. I hear you in my mind all the time. Maybe I'll actually try to follow the advice someday. Oh, isn't that sad? She wouldn't want me to be sad, though. I'm also very thankful for Sad and Trad, who I adore. We're going to go eat big turkey today. I hope the rest of you cherish your family and enjoy the day as well. And chime in with some pics of your spread, which sounds very lewd. Please do not send Ralph any pics of any spread. Speaking of my family, I'm also thankful for my son, Alexander, who was taken from me in a different way than my mother, but taken nonetheless. I love you, son. And his upcoming sister, who will be eating turkey with me today in New York. Ha ha ha. April due date approaches. Happy Thanksgiving once again. I would include the haters and losers, but nah, I hope their day is complete shit. Well, V's family was a very gracious host, and I had a lot of fun on Thanksgiving, so too bad, Ralph. So that's all sad and all. The war. Oh, by the way, I should point this out. He has this wonderful Stone Toss NFT as an avatar, complete with bitch tits by the look of it. So this was custom made for Ralph and given to him as a part of Stone Toss's NFT thing, and I will explain NFTs in a little bit. I just thought I should point that out before people get confused, in case this is the first time you've looked at this. Just in case you didn't notice this. Down here, this nice curvaceous body that he gave Ralph. Still a little bit too flattering though. I'm partial, if I can find it, to... Aha. I'm partial to this one that someone else made on the forum. I think this is a more true to life Ralph Male Flirk, I think they're called. Flirks. Clurfs are the original ones that's what's his face made? The guy from Something Awful. I'm drawing a blank. Anyways. Smorky, that's right. Okay, so now the Vickers has shot back. If you remember, Ralph made a give, send, go, asking for money to fight for Xander's custody. And in reply, Faith Vickers has launched her own Help Protect Xander thing. Alleging, now this is really strange, this website, because it looks like it's something that Vickers set up. But if you read it, it reads like a teenage girl wrote it. There's no way that Vickers, like, I would hope there is no way that a grown man wrote this, because it is very, very woe is me. Like, I'm just an innocent small being in all this. I don't know anything. I'm just a little girl. Ooh woo. I cannot be held liable for my actions. For the record, I have no sympathy for Faith at all. Like, zero sympathy. So it's just she says, like, I really don't want to read the whole thing because it's fucking boring. She's taking shots at Ralph and she's saying like, "Oh, I was only 18," and she's covering up the fact that she told Ralph that she was being molested and raped and shit. And she's just like, "Oh, give me money so I can give it to Xander." And I don't feel bad for her at all. And I would hope that nobody gives her any money. And now they also set up this other website called Help Protect Xander. And this is post temporary restraining order harassment, which is just tweets of his. I don't see how this is harassment, this tweet. Faith is the one who belongs in jail, and that's the honest truth. I've never met a bigger liar in my life. The very definition of borderline personality disorder. Sadly, she's the mother of my son. Should have made better pussy decisions, Ralph. That doesn't mean she isn't a huge piece of gutter trash. She is. That's wonderful. Saying that Faith is ugly, can't cook, ate the whole fucking time. You couldn't even tell she was pregnant. Pantsu's was noticeable at like 7 weeks. Very classy stuff. I don't know. I really don't see, like, I don't know. I try not to shit on Vickers too much because he's mostly like pro forum in a way. Like, he brings content to the forum, but really, there's a reason. I've said before. There's a reason why Faith is with Vickers. It's because he's a lot like Ralph. And if he wrote a single word of this fucking bullshit, which I'm not going to read because it's just, woe is me. I was super mega raped and molested my whole life, and then Ralph groomed me and shit, and it's just, yeah, whatever. And then she puts the picture of the fucking baby up on the top, and it's like, yeah, that's kind of creepy and weird. And then he goes to May's house for Thanksgiving, and her house immediately gets fucking doxxed. Her entire family, because Grandma's obituary listed like the full name of every single person related to Amanda, so now they're all doxxed. And I think it was something that was part because of something Ralph said, but don't quote me on that. Sorry, I meant to mute my mic. I did not. Coof. Yeah, coof. I don't know. I might be getting sick. I wish I got COVID. That would make my life easier. At least for a little while. So now I feel inclined. I feel inclined to talk about PPP, just because I'm very weirded out by PPP, and I have to express how awkward he is being. PPP made a video. He announced a premiere of the trial of Josh Moon, right? And it's got like a Nuremberg picture with me photoshopped in. And I saw the tweet of him announcing it, and I just posted in reply, I would not be seeing it because I live in Europe, and he knows I live in Europe, and it would be premiering at like 1 or 2 a.m. my time. And it's like, I'm not going to stay up to watch some guy bitch about me. Like, I go out of my way to avoid like seeing bullshit people say about me. I really don't want to see it. I don't care. But I like PPP, so it's an awkward situation. Because he used to be really funny, and now he like picks random fights with people. So he says, after I say that I'm going to bed instead of watching this, my sources tell me that Juice is crashing into slumber rather than watch his own trial. This will never do. Juice must let us know his bedtime, that the trial will have parties in attendance in the best interest of justice. So he's asking me what time I want to watch it, but he's asking it in like a weird way. So I just roll my eyes because I don't care. And then I read the comments the next day, and apparently it's really, really bad. So we're going to watch it. I've been told that it's really, really bad, and it's not even PPP. It's like Jim Sterling is helping PPP with his videos now. And don't spam my chat, but just start gently tapping that X button when you've had enough of it. Let's sit in here and watch. Okay, the audio is horrible right off the bat. There's a black puppet in a judge's clothes with sunglasses on. Oh, it's not a puppet. It's a guy. It's a guy like in a ski mask.
Order! Order in this court!
That's pretty cringe. I don't know if I can watch anymore.
Today, we are here to try.
It's making my skin crawl, Chad. I can't do it. No, really, I have like my skin on my neck is like crunching up. I can't watch this. Can I skip ahead? I'll skip ahead a little bit.
Next, you have been accused
Am I the dog?
of having your own hug box. Josh Moon, do you have your own hug box? What? No, I don't have a hug box.
It's like a Labrador Retriever puppet. I guess that's me.
I don't know a website called the Kiwi Farms. It's not a hug box at all. Then why don't you have your own thread on this Kiwi Farms, Josh Moon? Well, because it's my website, and if I had my own thread, I wouldn't be able to handle it.
Okay. So I used to like PPP, and then I don't know what happened to him, and now he makes stuff like this using third parties. It's pretty bad, chat. And then after this, he made like another video on Ralph, and it seemed to me, it seemed really phoned in. Like it seemed like it reminded me a lot of the Angry Video Game Nerd when he reviews a game that's just like bad, but not like overwhelmingly terrible. And he just kind of has to like phone it in and be like, what a crock of shit. What a fucking piece of shit. What an unbelievable fucking pile of putrid buffalo diarrhea. And he has to like really, really, really phone it in. And that's kind of what the vibe I got was. So I don't know what's happened to him. I miss PPP. He used to be very funny. PPP, please be funny again. Thank you. And his real issue is that he likes wrestling, and I think wrestling melted a part of his brain, which is responsible for good decision making, as tends to be the case of people who watch wrestling. Because I think in their head, if you watch wrestling too much, you start to think when you get any kind of platform, you should try and direct it as if it were professional wrestling, and it's just confusing and awkward, and people don't like that. So he tries to have ebbs and flows and heel turns and rivals of the week and stuff, and it's you're not gonna bait me into getting outraged over shit like this, because it's obviously a bait. You know what I mean? And I wonder if it's because of Surfer. He's still going through his breakup. Maybe he can hook up with Nick Fuentes. Ooh, that would be excellent. All that shit he talks about Nick Fuentes, that's just being to Sundar, to Sundari, to Sandir, to Sundar chat. He actually really likes Nick Fuentes, and he thinks he's kawaii dasu. But I don't know. Maybe that'll be his rebound after Surf. Sorry, I still think he's gay. You can't tell me that he's not. I refuse to believe it. His asshole is waxed and bleached. This man is a homosexual. No one else, no other man on the planet cares about their butthole to that extent, Chad. It's just not possible. Oh well. Okay, and I have nothing but fat people and J.K. Rowling and I guess Nick Fuentes lined up for today. Boogie is mildly in trouble. The realization has set in on him that he is going to prison or jail or something. He's going to become a convicted felon. He'll be sentenced to jail time. Probably jail time, because I think it'll be less than a year. But he's been crying about that on stream, and I don't know how the fuck this happened. I think he maintains that he's Native American. BBB, big bleached butthole. He says, I'm currently having an argument with someone on my subreddit who insists that my family's reddish skin tone does not come from our Native American ancestry, but from my high blood pressure. My brother's red face is because of my high blood pressure. Jesus, people are stupid. So this is Boogie. As you can see, he is one. That's a pedo mustache, Boogie. I didn't realize that until now, but that is definitely not a thing you should be sporting, especially when you're dating someone who's, well, I'll save that. But that's high blood pressure. That is not being a Native American. I don't know why American Whitey likes to say that they're Native American, because they're not. If you were Native American, you would know about it, and you would be filing for income tax exemption status. And once you have, if you have IRS income tax exemption status because of your heritage, nobody questions your fucking heritage. You have passed the test. That's the official test. You can only claim Native American ancestry if the IRS does not give you income tax. That is the rule. No tax, dude. No taxes. No fucking taxes. They're on their own land, which is exempt from state income tax, including corporate state income tax, and they don't have personal income tax from the federal government. How do I sign up for that? You're fucked. But if you bang Pocahontas, your kids will be tax exempt. It's something like a quarter. You have to be at least a quarter Native or something. But yeah. Gibbs are 1/16 or more Indian. Ooh, man. I actually looked into my heritage once because my grandmother claimed that her mother was Native, but we are 0% Native. So I don't know what the fuck was wrong with her mother to make her think that she was Native American, but apparently she had straight black hair, and that was why they thought she was a Native. So he asked someone asking him about his new girlfriend. She's in her 20s. We'll be talking about that when she's comfortable. Let's give her some space for now. And he deleted another comment where he basically said, she's less than half my age, and I know people are going to give me shit for that. So, Boogie, step one, shave that mustache, because that is not the kind of mustache you want to have when you're dating someone half your age. And never smile like that again, because it's very unsettling. And then he posted this for whatever reason.
So mine and I got real weird.
Maybe don't tweet that one.
So if you can't tell, that's a picture of him and cat ears licking his hand like a cat. Because I guess he's trying to seduce Nick Fuentes, who really likes guys who wear cat ears and lick their hand like a cat. But for whatever reason, this is something he decided to put on the internet voluntarily. Boog Delphine. Okay. I have audio which someone sent me, which is apparently Chris from prison on like a phone call to some guy in a car. So I'll listen to that. I've not listened to it before, so I'll be listening to it for the first time. It's about 3 minutes long. But before that, I want to talk about NFTs real quick. I'm telling you about the Chris call so I can get you to listen to me talk about cryptocurrency for a little bit before becoming disinterested in the stream and clicking off. So, what is an NFT, chat? I ask you this because Stone Toss, the artist, published a series of NFTs, 500 of them, for about $500 in Ethereum per NFT. And he sold out in 22 minutes and made $2.5 million. So the question is, what are they? And why are they worth $500 each? And the question is, or the answer is, they are kind of sort of related to cryptocurrency as a whole. It's too complicated to explain in detail, but the gist is that Ethereum and other coins based off Ethereum have a kind of programming language, and it's like playing with real money using a contract. And NFTs are a type of contract that generates a set of attributes, and then the artist can put those attributes through a machine to generate an image by building up layers of clothing and stuff. And I'll show you this thread I put together. So like, all of these are random, basically. You buy something, you get a set number of attributes, and then the artist manually uses a tool to generate these composites. This one sold for like several, like hundreds of thousands of dollars, I'm pretty sure. And it's just like the ugliest fucking thing ever. And it's just like just like a bunch of random shit stapled together based on what random numbers you get when you purchase the contract. And Stone Tosses is basically the exact same thing. And this is an example of one of the things that you would get for $500. And I am considering doing my own. This is also from Earthworm, Doug Tenaple from Earthworm Jim. And I think his is like actually made. Like his is hand drawn for each one. So it's actually kind of worth money because it has like a real artist attached to it. I would like to, chat. I would like to. Why are people against the idea as a whole? Like, if you don't want to buy it, don't buy it. But do you believe in like the climate aspect where NFTs are like dangerous to the environment? Is this the complaint here? Josh, stop. Why? You have to give me a reason. NFTs are gays, but Josh makes one that's cool. Exactly. That's the correct answer. They're pointless, but so are all pictures. Do it, it's cute. They're cringe. I feel like a lot of people, like, I don't know. Apparently there is a market for it. If Stone Cross can sell 5,000 of them for $500 each and make $2 million. You know what I would do with $2 million, chat? I would solve a lot of our fucking problems for $2 million. So I'll try it. I have an artist. I want to get a set of bases and a set of assets. And I'll try it, early next year, and I'll use something that's not Ethereum. I'll probably use Polygon because the fees are lower for Polygon. And we'll see what happens with it. Gay. I hope you sell them. It's like, I don't know why people are like super against it. Like, it outrages them. You know what I mean? Like, I was skeptical of Stone Toss doing it, but Prove me wrong. If there's money on the table, I'm gonna take it, chat. Be careful not. You can't waste money on this. Like that's the thing. It's free. You just put it up on the platform, and people want it, they get it. Play the Kirby immersion theme? Not yet. How the fuck is that a thing? I closed out of Element. Where is my Element at? How are you notifying me? How is this man whose avatar is a cat picture dressed up like JC Denton sending me notifications, chat? I really don't. Kill Element. If it's still fucking running, I'm gonna be pissed off. It better be dead now. That's all I gotta say, chat. Save picture. I mean, it's not the image itself that you're buying. It's hard to explain, and I don't want to sit on the topic too long and like argue back and forth, because people would argue the same thing about like Bitcoin as a whole. It's just like bits and bytes, right? So why does it matter? We'll see, chat. If I make $2.5 million, you'll have to apologize. Every single one of you in here will have to apologize to me. Okay. Let's listen to the Chris call if I can actually find it. Oh God.
I feel like I'm in a much better place now. It could have been worse. I mean, I could have been abused a lot worse. I mean, the worst time I was abused, just essentially, if you don't count the theoretical S's, all those fakers and haters online, it would have to be the pin me down event in 4th grade. A couple of them were like, just like around two of them were like rather cruel or just being jerkish. And then there were 3 that just did not list their names or anything on the envelopes and sent like just whatever images. And one of them was pretended to be Robert Shue, my dad, and tried to talk to me. I saw that coming from a mile away. My foresight did. It's just like, all I had to do was just like, just read the part of the first sentence, and I just shred that letter and flushed it into the toilet. I mean, especially Kenneth, and I gave him permission to post the letters on Onion Farms, which of course then got relayed to Kiwi Farms. And obviously, yes, I want everybody to know what I realized, that I am literally God, that I am the full reincarnation of Jesus Christ and everything, all that. Everybody needs to know this truth. And essentially, I mean, the Da Vinci merge I started talking about like 3 years ago, that was like just one of the 3 events for the entire Judgment Day. The other 2 being the collective shift and, of course, my second coming. Well, among my writing, I've lately written my thoughts and details each and every day in my own little journal, which I call my goddess log. Yeah, I meditate a lot in here, so I know just pretty much every day. I meditate innately, involuntarily, 24/7, 365. So for me to consciously meditate is just for me to go deeper into myself and dive deeper into the cosmos, the universe, the Akashic records, and literally the entire multiverse, and then some. Yeah, but I've wrote a bunch of those meditative details out as well in my goddess log. Sometime after I get out of here, I'm likely to just lend my entire bunch to my business association, my business associate, Hayden Peck, have him do a bunch of scan work and help me to like publish it. That's always good. I like Subway. Yeah. I mean, I foreknew and foresaw that I was going to end up in jail anyway. It was just popular amongst the other timelines. Yeah, the thing I did that day was essentially I soul bonded and cuddled and supportively in mentality and emotional and spirituality talked a lot with Barbara. So essentially I was just boosting her up and healing and cleansing her aura and chakras, and of course healing and forgiving and all that of her past sins and her regrets. So that is what I did mainly. That was the main attraction. So, yes, the money would be appreciated to help me out. Not only in phone time, but also keep me well in stocks with pens and better food. I received a generous donation recently, and I've been enjoying some soup. I figured out how to make noodle soup in a bottle. Yeah, I'll send you a lyric drawing later. You take care and have a great, blessed day. Go forth in peace and clarity by my power and glory. Yeah, all right. Take care. Bye.
Well, I see he's doing well in the prison system. That's good. I don't know. I don't really have much of a reaction to that. I guess that's kind of underwhelming, but it's like, yeah, Chris is in jail. He's still crazy. He still thinks he did nothing wrong. His attempt to explain, like having sex with his mom as like a forgiveness healing thing, kind of fucking weird. But he's already been doing that for a while now. It's not different than like the first 2 letters I read. Very sad. I don't know. It is fucked up. The whole situation's fucked up. Because he really just needs to be in a place where he does not have access to the internet. He cannot make outbound phone calls. His internet access is monitored closely. But I don't know if those places exist in the US. We just have like mental hospitals where you get like Thorazine until you die. And it's not like an actual place for people like Chris, you know? Wait, what? What's wrong with my voice? Are you fucking with me? I didn't do anything to my voice. Is it better now? How is Element still open? I do not understand. How do I close this? You know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna mute it. That's my plan. Yeah, now you muted. I P-killed the fucking thing. What is wrong with my voice? I don't... It's the drivers? Let me... Is it better now? Should more keep... I didn't change anything. I've changed... Is it better? Is it better now? I literally did not change anything. No, it's bad. Let me let me try plugging it back in again. Hold up. Hello? Oh no, now it's the wrong one. Wait, is it fixed? Oh, now it's in mono. So now you're hearing me on the wrong side. Wait, hold up, I'm fixing it. It's still fucked. It's super loud. I didn't mean to make it super loud. I'm sorry. I didn't. This is what you get, chat, for streaming on Linux. It literally just randomly broke midstream. What a fucking disaster. Wait, is this better? Oh wait, okay, now you're hearing me double time because this is wrong now. Don't you worry, I'm gonna figure this out, chat. I'm almost there. Almost there. Okay, is it better now? Is it better now? Have we fixed it? Have we avoided the calamity? No? Yes? No? Are you... It's still bad. Fuck it. Bye. I'll see you all next week when I fix my fucking thing. Eat shit, you fuckers.
First thing in the morning, what do I see? A pile of shit staring at me. I close my eyes, I step away. No matter where I go, there's no getting away. Where is that Louis? I step out on the street. What do I smell? Shit that's stinking to high hell. I hold my breath. I step away. But everywhere I go, there's no getting away.
Hey shit, no shit, this is that shit, oh shit, no shit. Hi, hi. Lagay na pekiniche. Happy birthday. Lagay na pekiniche. Happy birthday.
Next to you, next to everywhere. Where is that Louis?
जहाँ मुड़ेगा वही मिलेगा हर जगह सलाम मारेगा ए shit no shit this is that shit oh shit no shit कुतुब मीनार गेट वे ऑफ इंडिया चार मीनार जंतर मंतर खेत के अंदर एयरपोर्ट के बाहर
अबे ओए यहाँ हगना मना है
तो क्या हगना मना है ओ या हगना मना है तो क्या हगना मना है 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 ओ या take a deep breath हगू
अबे ओए बहुत हो गया बहुत हो गया ओए इसकी तो
Take the pool to the loo. Take the pool to the loo. Take the pool. We gotta do what we got to do. Take the pool. We gotta take the pool to the loo. Take the pool. We gotta take the pool. We gotta take the pool. We gotta. Let's take the pool to the loo. 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 Everywhere. Next to you, next to everywhere. Where is that Louis? Let's take the pool to the loo. 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 Let's take the pool to the loo.